Okay, this is the Game is on 100 here with the video. In this video, I'm going to be rebooting of what I said in my two previous videos, um, of Edge retaining his title and that John Cena was going to win the main event at WrestleMania. So let's get started. Over this past at WrestleMania, Edge retained his title. I was all pleased that Edge retained his title. He needed to retain his title. It did happen. I am so pleased that he retained his title. I wasn't knocking Alberto Del Rio at all. I'm not knocking him. He will be a world champion. It didn't have to happen at WrestleMania. He could probably get the title now. I don't care if Edge can drop the title to Alberto Del Rio either at the next month's pay-per-view at Extreme Rules or at Over the Limit. I wouldn't care what Edge would drop the title to Alberto Del Rio then. But at least they had Edge retain his world title at WrestleMania. This is the first time that Edge walked into WrestleMania as champion and retained. And this also ends Edge's losing streak of 4 straight WrestleManias for Edge. So yeah, so this is all good for that. And last but not least, I said about John Cena winning the main event. The WWE threw a curveball at this because normally it would have been the face would have won the main event at WrestleMania. But I knew the reason why they would have for I have the Miz retain because the WWE was planning on having what we seen what happened on Raw between Rock and Cena for next year's WrestleMania for them two to go at it. So that will be good in the future. We gotta wait for a year to for Cena and Rock to happen. But when I was saying that usually the face walks out as champion, it's very rare that the face always wins the main event at WrestleMania. It usually does happen. This is the first time in 11 years that the face didn't win the main event at WrestleMania. It was Triple H was the last one to retain his title as a heel to retain the title at WrestleMania. Miz, it took 11 years. So that all you fans are real happy that the Miz retained his title. You guys are so happy, but next year there will be a title change next year. The WWE always takes years off for a champion to retain his title prior till when the WWE started using the 2 world titles. Prior before the WWE started using the 2 world titles, the first time that a champion retained his title, the very WrestleMania that the champion retained his titles at WrestleMania. The people who retained their titles at WrestleMania before they had the two titles that they ever since WrestleMania 19, the only people that retained their titles was Hogan, Kevin Nash, and Triple H. Those are the only 3 men that retained their world title at WrestleMania before they decided to go with the 2 world championship changes. So then when we had for starting WrestleMania 19, we had 2 world title matches. Ever since then, there has been a title change every year. One of the titles would have been changed hands, except for WrestleMania 21 when both titles changed hands that night. But ever since WrestleMania 16, from 17 through 26, there was always a guaranteed title change. So all you fans better not be expecting that the heel is not going to win next year in the main event, because the main event match is going to be Rock and Cena. It's going to be the main event. It's a face versus face match. And face is going to win the main event of WrestleMania. Just like next year, whoever's the world champion next year, whoever's the champions next year, one of them will lose the title next year. It doesn't happen all the time, but the WWE takes probably years before this would ever happen. The last time that a heel won the WrestleMania was Triple H. It was at WrestleMania 16 when he was heel. He was champion and he retained his title. So what did the WWE do after the champion retained his title? 5 years. And what happened after WrestleMania 16? The title changed 5 years. And now, for 10 years straight, that there was always a title change at WrestleMania. Not this year, but starting next year. I think the pattern is 5 years, 10 years. Probably the next heel that will win WrestleMania will probably be, is the pattern is to look like it's going. It looks like it will be 15 years before the heel will walk out of WrestleMania as the champion. So there you go. You got to look at the pattern of how the WWE's been doing. As for the champion to walk into as champion and retaining his title. So you gotta look at that way. So this was just a rebutting of what the 2 videos that I did last week. So this is the Game Is On 100, and I'll talk to you all later.